Okay, so I wanted to show everyone, uh, it's not quite a tutorial, but at least it's an example of how you can put a crystal grid together. It's been a while since I have done one of these videos, and I thought with having so many different new viewers now, and with having so many of you who adore crystals the way I do, it just felt like it was the right time to do this again. So, we're starting off here with this is actually a pillowcase. This is a velvet pillowcase. It is from an artist in Sweden. Her name is Katrine Skott, Skott. I will put her information on the link in this video. Um, but this is her artwork that she has had printed onto a pillowcase. So I'm going to be using that today. But I wanted to show you some other examples of different things you can use. Um, Obviously, any kind of piece of fabric you can use. It's more beneficial if you're using something that has a sacred geometry shape on it like this, or something that has intense divine energy on it like this. This is another example. So there's, wooden crystal grids, fabric crystal grids. You could use a piece of paper that is artwork. You could use a piece of paper that has words on it, because words carry energy too. It's just the most impactful when it is divine energy that you're combining with, either through sacred geometry or through someone who is channeling divine beings in order to make their artwork like this is. So let's go ahead and just get started. There's no real right or wrong way to put together a crystal grid. And I don't know, maybe people I mean, I try my rules for myself is that I try to make it balanced. I try to make it symmetrical, but other than that, that's really just for visual appeal and kind of just balancing out the energies as you're putting them on. Other than that, there's not really too many rules with positioning of the crystals. Um, you're obviously going to be choosing crystals either intuitively. If you can hear your guides, you'll be, choosing what they're telling you to choose, or maybe you're just sensing what they're telling you to choose. Or you can, if you don't feel like you're in connection with your guides at all, you can Google. You can think about what your purpose of your grid is, and then you can Google, okay, I want to make a grid for, I don't know, self-love. And so you can start Googling that, crystals for self-love, and the internet will have lots of answers for you. Um, Another thing that you can do when you're picking out crystals is crystals that have um, sacred geometry shapes have more energy to them, have more power to them. So those are more beneficial on a grid. Also, crystals that are already, or still, I should say, attached to their matrix, crystals that are in a cluster form, have more power than something that's been smoothed out already for us. So let's just see how this goes. This is dioptase, if anyone is curious. It is so beautiful and so ridiculously expensive, so little pieces are kind of a necessity for them. Gonna use some celestite clusters. And I picked out the crystals that I was going to use ahead of time because if I hadn't done that, then honestly, you would see me put things down and go, no, I don't like that. And I'd pull it up and I would pick something else. And that's fine. That's fine if it takes you a while to get things the way that feels right. When I'm doing this, I know it's right when I put everything down and I can kind of feel an energy off of it. I feel like I can't fit all my crystals on here anymore. I didn't leave myself enough room. Okay. And so it's nice if you buy crystals in sets of 4, sets of 3, sets of 6, sets of 8, sets of 12. Those are typically the numbers of sections that are given on sacred geometry shapes. So normally those are the sets that work the best. 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, any of those. Um, and for the center, you can use a lot of cool things for the center. I think my favorites are using a cluster, again, because of the power involved, or using a sacred geometry shape. This guy is a quartz icosahedron. So I'm going to put him right in here. I didn't want to put too much on her grid and block the artwork itself. I feel like this kind of complements the artwork and still adds to the energy. It's always a good thing when you are combining your creative efforts with working with your guides, with someone else's creative efforts. So in this case, Katrine's artwork. So anytime you're combining these different energies, you're getting this brand new energy or this brand new product that you didn't have before. And now that I'm saying this, I want to use one of Amanda Ellis's sprays on here because this is always what I do. So let's take a look. So this is a heart energy kind of grid. Whoop, sorry guys. Like dropping my cord in here. So this is the one I want to use. Sorry if this is upside down to you. This says Archangel Metatron, Emerald, Renewal, and Recovery. This is for that heart energy. The name of Katrine's artwork is called Rebirth. And so that is the energy that is behind this pillowcase that I'm using as my crystal grid. It's funny because once I set this crystal grid up, even though it doesn't have it doesn't have any yellow crystals on it, it does have yellow or gold in the artwork, but it doesn't have any yellow crystals on it. I could feel it in my solar plexus right away. So if you're looking at this crystal grid and you feel something in one of your chakras, that's the chakra that you're undergoing that rebirth energy in. And so for me, I guess I needed a transformation the most in my solar plexus, so that's where they gave it to me. But you might feel this in your third eye. You might feel this in your root chakra. You might feel it in your heart. You could feel it anywhere. You could feel it in multiple places. Let's go ahead and just breathe that one in. And this one, Metatron wants one more. What else do we want? Normally, I pick these out before I do these videos just for this reason, because now I'm staring at my wall of Amanda Ellis sprays and trying to figure out which one Metatron wants. Oh, okay. How funny. Here we go. So he's chosen, and sorry if this is upside down to you, he's chosen the Lemon Joy Energy Spray. Because if we have to go through a rebirth, we have to go through a little bit of a death first, right? You have to die a little to be reborn. So let's at least feel good about the change. Let's feel good about the switching over. So, okay, that's everything that I have for you guys on this crystal grid. Some people like to put an intention and write it down on a piece of paper and fold it up and put it, you know, underneath the crystal grid or underneath the center stone. I used to do that myself. I've stopped doing that ever since I just started working a lot more with my guides. I recognize that my mental intentions are sufficient. I don't need to write it down. Um, the other thing that I have done with this grid that you didn't see because it's off screen is I used Reiki to kind of charge up the grid. You can do the same thing, whether whether you're trained in Reiki or not. You can imagine your heart energy coming through your arm, coming through your palm, and you can give that away to these crystals to just kind of charge them up, wake them up. All of us have that natural ability to tap into that universal energy and our heart energy. So while it's important to be trained as a healer if you're healing other humans, you don't really need to be trained as a healer in order to activate your crystal grid. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I know a lot of you did not were telling me that you wanted a crystal grid, but you didn't really have easy access to one. So just know that there are a lot of options out there. You can be creative. You don't have to do something that's labeled as a crystal grid when you purchase it. Um, so just be open, be creative, and technically, you don't need a crystal grid at all. You can lay these out without a crystal grid. It's just going to help amplify things. So don't let not having a crystal grid or not having the crystal grid you think you're supposed to have hold you back from experimenting with making your own. It's so important for everybody to step into their own power. And if you feel called to start putting together your own crystal grids, do it. It's fun, it's powerful, it's makes a huge difference in the energy of a space. So, okay, that's my speech for everyone for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.